While many modern armies rely heavily on foreign suppliers, the French military has followed a very different path. For decades, France has made a deliberate and costly choice to design, build, and maintain most of its military equipment domestically. This philosophy is often summarized in two words: strategic independence. Unlike several NATO allies that depend on American or German platforms, France insists on controlling its own weapons systems, from rifles and armored vehicles to fighter jets, submarines, and nuclear missiles. This is not about pride alone. It is about freedom of action. When a country depends on foreign suppliers, it also depends on foreign political approval. Spare parts, software updates, ammunition, and maintenance can all become leverage points. France has learned this lesson the hard way throughout its history, particularly during periods when its strategic interests diverged from those of its allies. As a result, France built one of the most complete defense industrial ecosystems in the world. Companies like Dassault, Nexter, Thales, Safran, and Naval Group form the backbone of this system. Together, they allow France to design, produce, and upgrade its own equipment without asking permission from anyone. This independence comes at a price. French systems are often more expensive per unit, but the strategic payoff is enormous. One of the clearest examples of this philosophy is France's approach to armored warfare. While many countries abandon wheeled armored combat vehicles in favor of heavier tracked platforms, France doubled down on mobility. The result is the EBRC Jaguar, a 6x6 wheeled armored reconnaissance and combat vehicle that reflects French doctrine perfectly. The Jaguar is not designed to slug it out in static tank battles. Instead, it prioritizes speed, agility, and information dominance. Capable of reaching speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour, it can rapidly move across vast areas, conduct reconnaissance, strike high-value targets, and disengage before the enemy can react. This makes it ideal for expeditionary warfare, exactly the kind of operations France conducts most often, particularly in Africa. Equipped with a 40mm CTA cannon, anti-tank missiles, and advanced sensors, the Jaguar combines firepower with awareness. Its role is not to replace tanks, but to see first, move first, and strike first. In a world where information often matters more than armor thickness, this is a critical advantage. The Jaguar also illustrates another key aspect of the Made in France approach: systems integration. French vehicles are designed as digital platforms. Sensors, communications, and weapons are tightly integrated, allowing units to share information in real time. This networked approach enables smaller forces to punch above their weight, compensating for limited numbers with superior coordination. But the most iconic symbol of French armored independence remains the Leclerc main battle tank. Introduced in the 1990s, the Leclerc was revolutionary for its time. Weighing around 63 tons, it combined heavy armor with exceptional mobility and firepower. But what truly set it apart was its electronics. The Leclerc was the first tank in the world equipped with a fully digital fire control system. This allowed it to detect, track, and engage targets faster than any contemporary rival. In tank combat, where seconds decide survival, this was a game-changing advantage. Unlike many tanks that rely on sheer armor thickness, the Leclerc emphasizes speed, precision, and first-shot lethality. Its auto-loader reduces crew size, improving internal space and lowering the risk of casualties. Its engine provides high acceleration, allowing rapid repositioning on the battlefield. Once again, this reflects French doctrine: move fast, strike decisively, and avoid prolonged attritional combat. Crucially, the Leclerc was designed and produced almost entirely in France. This ensured full control over upgrades, ammunition, and export decisions. While production numbers were lower than those of American or Russian tanks, the Leclerc was never meant to equip massive armored formations. It was built for quality, not quantity. This philosophy extends beyond armored vehicles. France's insistence on domestic production applies to artillery, communications, aircraft, and naval systems. Even when cooperation exists, as with some European programs, France seeks to retain key technologies and decision-making authority. Critics often argue that this approach is inefficient. Buying off-the-shelf American systems would be cheaper and faster. But this argument ignores the strategic cost of dependency. When political tensions rise, supply chains can break. Export restrictions can be imposed. Software access can be limited. France's leaders are keenly aware that military autonomy is meaningless without industrial autonomy. This mindset explains why France resisted full integration into NATO command structures for decades and why it continues to maintain independent capabilities today. There are also operational benefits. French-made equipment is designed around French doctrine, not adapted from someone else's. Vehicles like the Jaguar and Leclerc are optimized for rapid deployment, long-distance operations, and combined arms maneuver, not static defense or mass warfare. In Africa, where infrastructure is limited and distances are vast, wheeled vehicles like the Jaguar offer a decisive advantage. They require less maintenance, move faster on roads, and are easier to deploy by air. This allows France to respond quickly to crises without mobilizing massive forces. The same logic applies to logistics. A fully national supply chain simplifies maintenance and training. Crews train on systems they will actually use in combat, not on foreign platforms adapted to local needs. Upgrades can be implemented quickly based on battlefield feedback. Of course, independence has limits. France does not have infinite resources. Maintaining a full-spectrum defense industry is expensive. Production runs are often short, which increases per-unit costs. Some systems lag behind American counterparts in raw numbers or scale, but France accepts these trade-offs. Rather than chasing dominance through mass, it seeks credibility through capability. Its forces are not designed to fight a global war alone, but to intervene rapidly, act independently, and shape outcomes before conflicts escalate. This approach has proven effective. From the Gulf War to operations in the Sahel, French forces have consistently demonstrated the ability to deploy quickly, operate autonomously, and achieve objectives with limited resources. This would not be possible without control over equipment and logistics. In a world where alliances are fluid and geopolitical interests shift rapidly, France's Made in France military strategy offers something rare: strategic freedom. It allows Paris to say yes or no based on national interests, not supply constraints. It allows French commanders to plan operations without worrying about foreign approval. And it allows the military to adapt its tools to its doctrine, not the other way around. Ultimately, France does not try to outproduce the United States or outspend China. It plays a different game. A game where independence matters more than numbers, where mobility beats mass, where control beats convenience. And in modern warfare, that choice can make all the difference.